Today we're in kind of a scenario where civilization starts over. We are on part 40 of this series. Let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing we have happening is the Old Empire's invasion of South Italy and Algeria. So these should be pretty simple wars. So you don't really have to worry about really anything changing. Like anything game changing. These aren't particularly very strong countries, you know. They take Sicily and start moving up the Italian food. Um, take this major city, take the capital, and then they kind of capitulate. Um, they reach over, take a major city, reach over, take another major city, and then kind of just like branch. Like it's because like they're not really the government is not very can't really fight for itself, so they take this major city, take the capital, and then Algeria capitulates. So yeah, that was quick, and that makes sense because these guys are one of the most powerful countries in the world. And if you couldn't tell, about the peace treaty, it's full annexation. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, these guys are starting to look like the red team. So those two countries are completely wiped off of the globe. And now the brink of war is very eventual to happen. But before then, for all this is just the build up to World War IV. Next thing we have happening is North China breaking away from the original Chinese government. That is not very good for China. And it's about to not be very good either. Now they are able to push back to somewhat of an extent. Um, that's not going to be enough because this is a lot of good areas in terms of economy and well, for them it is. For normal China in real life, this is kind of the country is kind of poor without. I don't remember. I remember Ada saying something about that, but I don't know. Don't listen to people on the internet. I'm gonna tell you that. Um, but yeah, they're getting squeezed out, but they're gonna be able to push back in a somewhat like way. Now, why are their allies joining the war? And helping them? Well, that's because they are supplying them, but they aren't going to actually join the war because they feel like they're gonna go into a civil war themselves and collapse themselves if they do, because it's gonna set an example for how little. Like, you get my point, I think. I'm not very good at that. It's fine. But yeah, this is a very back and forth war, and they are able to break through and secure this much of China. They are able to secure that much. They aren't able to completely overthrow the government. So, yeah. And their capital will be right here. And some other events will be happening. Like China leaving this alliance, these alliances. Now that kind of hurts the rectangle team here. And you want to know who joins the anti rectangle alliance? Yep, it's the Chinese Rebellion. Now, are they as strong as China? Not really. They're not as strong, but they are pretty close being as strong. Let's go ahead and see. is new power rankings. So that's kind of how it looks. Now, yeah, that is a lot of different power rankings from a few episodes ago. But hey, oh yeah, I forgot. No more South Africa. They aren't as strong anymore. Um, who would take their place? Colombia. Now, I did see the episode. It was Venezuela, but I'm just gonna call them Colombia. But yeah, those are power rankings for this video so far. Um, Now I would do them at the end of the video, but I'm not gonna do that. Also, this color is very similar to the normal China color, so let me just fix that. Like a lot lighter blue, and maybe not even blue, maybe like this. It's very depressing. It's a very depressing color, but it's much different from the original Chinese government. I might actually switch the colors, but that might confuse me later on. So let's keep this for now. Also, remember, this was the red team. This was originally the red team. Now, this isn't a rebellion or anything, but like right before the Union, red team was this. This is the red team. At their peak. So that's a lot of land. But I didn't really have that much over here, so more like so just yeah, they're just more like that. Um So that's still a lot. They do have extra territory that the red team never had, but this is supposed to be. And also, when you look at this map, what country do you notice first? Because this is why I notice first, because of how big this is. You don't realize how large this empire is. Here, let me just select the United States. Just take the 48 Union, right? That's how big the US is compared to this. Um, that's how big that is. Now, Russia is definitely bigger and would give them a run for their money, but China in this timeline is definitely bigger than the United States. And this United States is not as strong as the US in our time. Um, but they are still quite strong. Why am I okay. Why was I doing that? Anyway, yeah. This is a lot of areas where countries aren't going to really. This is the point where countries are going to start unionizing to get more power into their hands and stuff like that. Because World War III is on the door, no smooth. Um, wait, did the I did not know that was a hotkey. But afterwards, I'm gonna see if that recording got interrupted or not. I don't know. I'm scared. It did. Um, I'm sorry if it did. If it didn't, that's a W. But what we have now is. So, what we have happening with everything is the first thing we have happening is this union and this. So, all these countries unite to form Spain, and also Portugal joins this union. So now they're all in a union together to try and get more power into their hands. So yeah, now we have the Iberian Union, except for, like some small parts on France. Because like France took some of Iberia, because Iberia is like right there. Um, just say it is the so we can say it is the Iberian Union. Spain in real life's border from with France is like this, so it's good enough. Yeah, we have Iberia here. I feel like Italy would probably unite with France if they are going to unite with somebody, or maybe the Dutch, but they don't really probably don't like the Dutch because they broke away. No. Um, but the world is very divided. And how do we fix division? With war, of course, but so this is the new South African alliance part. Now, what we have happening with a lot of these countries is a common theme. Countries are going to get steamrolled on wars. Now, that isn't really that fair necessarily, but when a stronger country, basically in my universe or my head, I'd rather go it faster so I can get more stuff in one episode. I want to get the most amount of stuff in one episode at a time, but not like so much that it seems rushed. So, yeah. But episodes, I think 41 and 42 and 43. Not 43. Maybe not. But whatever episodes I will record on the 3rd, right before I have to not be home for a long time, are going to be rushed. Those are going to be rushed. Those are going to be rushed. I know it. Now they're going to be rushed. Yeah. They are. They're bound to be. Because I had to get multiple recordings in one, so it's not like necessarily rushed, just more of like short. Um, they're gonna be about like the length time of right now. So yeah, but let's go ahead and see all the alliance changes. This is our Southeast Asia new alliance map. This is our new European alliance map. And Asian. Nothing really changed here. Southeast Asia's like that. There's nothing really much that changed. Maybe one else has changed. Cuba joins the Triangle Alliance. Same thing with. Do I remember what I know the scope now? Panama joining. We have Hawaii would actually stay neutral probably. But as you can see, we have a lot of other countries in the triangle team that we do the rectangular team. So let's go ahead and see what would be in the rectangular team. England. No, probably not England. Probably Scotland in that case. Ireland. England would probably say neutral because they don't really like these guys, but don't like the Dutch either. Um, yeah. A lot of these African countries would probably go rectangular, you know. Nigeria would probably join the triangle once Cameroon joins the rectangle. Probably would have like a lot of Africa staying neutral, but some would join a side. The rest would stay neutral. South Indonesia is going to join the rectangle team, which is going to kind of hurt the triangle team in case World War IV breaks out. Also, making it so like, long. Yeah. France would probably stay neutral. Italy would probably join the triangle team. Probably not the rectangle team, probably the triangles. Because they don't really want to get invaded by the old empire, but they don't really want to necessarily stay neutral because they might get invaded anyways. So just join the triangle so that to not get invaded. Um, this country would probably join the rectangles. Um, Other than that, I think the rest of the world will stay neutral. Um, in my opinion. Put what you think in the comments. But that's what I think. We would stay neutral. And stay out of World War III. And these two are going to get invaded. We have Bosnia and Herzegovina and Croatia both being invaded by the old empire, and that's going to be very easy for them because it's very easy. Now they might set up those regions as autonomous, like they probably would set up North Yugoslavia as a um autonomous region, same thing with South Yugoslavia. Like this would be an autonomous area of the whole team, which I'm actually going to go ahead and show you so we can get like what they used to be on here. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of this. So this is gonna be like that, but but it's gonna be an autonomous region. So it's gonna be like this, and it's gonna have the outline. It's probably gonna be autonomous. Which I'm probably not gonna add an outline because that takes too long. But yeah, that's kind of how that. I keep hitting my desk. Maybe like that as an autonomous. Even more. Yeah, just almost. Very, very close. Yeah, that's definitely how I'd want it. Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah, that's autonomous. See the difference? Like it's kind of noticeable. You can see this is an autonomous region. You know what? Let me just show it on the map as just an X because like I'm not gonna probably not gonna do autonomous regions. I was thinking of doing that. I thought that would be a good idea, but it kind of it's not very like does not look very good. Um, Also, uh, Russia can't really go into the Caspian Sea because like same with the Black Sea because like well they can go in the Caspian, but like they're just getting naval blockaded by the purple team, and no one has access to the Black Sea. And most of the Mediterranean is conquered by the old empire, so you just need a little bit of Morocco, some of Spain, some of France, this Italian country, then you have all of the Mediterranean. You're Roman in that case. But I feel like this is the old empire. The old empire, or not the old empire. The purple team is very powerful. It makes sense because just look at it. This is bigger than the old empire on Ada's Pro Series because it has a lot more of up in here and a lot more up in here. A lot more over here. About the same in Africa. Besides, like they had like that, um, that much more of Africa. But yeah, that's kind of how that would look. Um, I guess I could show you. I've already shown you the difference, but what I'm going to do, it's gonna be very controversial, but I'm going to change the color so it doesn't look like the old empire. So I'm gonna make it like reddish. It's gonna be very um I'm just kidding. I'm not because this is a union between the red and blue team, so it's kind of meant to be purple. Um, I can change the color to be more purple. That just looks even more like the old empire, in my opinion. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, that's our civilization for today, I guess. But oh yeah. The reason Russia hasn't been expanding because they don't really have anywhere to expand. Um, that's why that's like that. Um, and if you don't remember, India is forbidden from unionizing ever, by the way. So that's why they haven't unionized into India again. But I'll see you in the next video I make.